I am JT Eichwald. Some of you may know me. Most of you don't. That's fine. If you've seen The Late Show with Stephen Colbert or Late Night, Conan O'Brien, I've also seen those shows too. So now the man of the hour. Bang your tables. Let's do some drum roll for him. A man who needs no introduction because you know who he is. That's why you're here. Rich Acavetta.
All right, everyone, I'm going to be your MC tonight. You know, when my dad asked me to be the MC, of course I said sure, you know. And then he told me the rules. There was no profanity, you know, no sexual innuendos, no faith jokes. So I was just like, you really tied my hands tonight. And my motto has always been, ask for forgiveness later. So with that said, I'm going to drop an F-bomb for you guys tonight. Are you guys ready to have some fun? I've been watching a little bit too much Sesame Street with Luke. But anywho, tonight we're here to honor Rich. You know, he's clever, smart, witty. I would go on, but I'm having a hard time reading his writing. You know, it's great to see you in pants tonight, Dad. It's been a long time since you've worn the pants in your relationship. Glad you got them back on.
Wow.
She's grounded. It's going to be a good night. Don't ground me, Mom, okay? I'll be good. All right. Since I became a parent recently in the last 2 years, you know, I look to my parents as an example in what I should do, what I shouldn't do. You know, my dad likes to poke fun that Luke still sleeps in the bed with me, you know, and I'm like, okay, I get it. He's 2, but eventually he'll leave. But I could be like him. You know, Randy, when he was younger and my dad was living in a studio apartment, he slept on a futon. So when Randy would get scared in the middle of the night and have bad dreams, you know what this Father of the Year would do? He wouldn't let him in the bed with him. Randy got to sleep under the futon like a troll. You know. Would you like me to treat my son that way? I'm just asking. I mean, I got to live in my dad's house for the last 2 years, rented out. You know, it was nice. It got to show me a different side of my dad. When my mom was dating him, she would tell me he would leave little things around the house, little notes, little things to let her know that he was there, that he was thinking about her. You know, I guess things don't change because I would come home and find little things around the house too. A dirty dish here, a glass full of water there, you know, things I was planning on making for dinner, eaten and gone. So, you know, Dad, I got the message. I love you too. I always tell Dad he needs to stay active, especially for Kylie. You know, she's young, she likes to play games, run around. But I seen him run recently, and let me tell you, it's not a pretty sight. Just imagine Sasquatch running. You know, Dad, don't ever run again, please. Do us all a favor. All right, our next speaker is going to be my husband. You know, Jason was a little nervous tonight. He was like, what if they boo me? And I said, babe, don't worry about that. People can't yawn and boo at the same time. With that said, let's welcome him up here.
Yeah, Jason.
Thank you very much, Danny DeVito. I mean Allison, sorry about that. Thank you, Allison, for the introduction, but don't let this power go to your head. You have laundry to be done when you get home. Thank you.
Jason wears the pants.
When I first met you, I was very impressed that you ran your own business, you owned your own house. Little did I know that Tina was the reason you accomplished all those goals. If it wasn't for her credit score, her saving account, you would still be living in a studio apartment delivering mail. Whoa! It's a good thing the apple didn't fall far from the tree, Rich. Allison married up too. You taught her well. I asked Rich, how was being your own boss? He would always say, the hours are great. I never knew that what he meant until I lived in his house. He would only work from 11 to 1 with an hour lunch and 2 15-minute breaks. He did, honestly, he did. Yeah. Being a part of this family for the past 8 years, I've been able to see some of Rich and Tina parenting skills. Let me tell you, I would love being one of their kids. Never get spanked. Always able to eat as many desserts as you wanted, as long as you said please. But my favorite thing was watching Randy be grounded, but still be able to go hang out with the church friends. FYI, all he had was church friends. But with that said, I'm gonna leave everyone else alone. I think I just want to get rich. You guys can make fun of me. And don't worry, I haven't been drinking. I have a slur because I have a speech impediment, so don't worry.
Oh, man, you gotta go there.
But honestly, Dad, you're an amazing man. I don't have, my father's not there in my life. You've been there for me, and thank you for everything you do for me and my family. And I think the biggest thing I love about you is the fact that my son has a great grandpa to look up to, and it means the world to me. I love you. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Desiree, my sister. She's given me a lot of advice throughout the years, being my older sister and everything. But I think the best advice that she's ever given me was find a rich man. Didn't follow it that much, But, I'm hoping. Here's hoping. So with that said, let's bring Desiree on up.
Wow, what an awesome introduction, Allison. Great job. It must be nice going before me once. See, I just bombed it. Gosh, Dad, 50 looks great on you. My dad, he's kind, he's gentle, he's passionate, he's such a loving father. I'm lucky to have someone my husband can look up to. I'm even more happy that I'm gonna get paid $50 for saying those nice things about him like he asked me to at the beginning. But in all seriousness, he's a good guy. He deserves a pat on the back, just not too hard. How many moms are out here? Well, recently we just celebrated Mother's Day. And, all of us moms have been thanked for all the grueling hours of childbirth we've gone through, all the kicks to the bladder and the ribs. Yep, I've had 4 myself. I've actually even had 4 C-sections. Wow. And anyone who has ever had a C-section knows the horrible pain that you go through during recovery. Yes. I've also known moms that have had natural birth that have done it without epidurals. Just the love of knowing that they're going to meet their child at the end is what got them through. And then there's my dad. Hey, Des, sometimes he'll ask me, hey, Des, can you drive me to a dentist appointment? Yeah, sure. What are you getting, a tooth pulled? A root canal? He said, no, this man is just getting a teeth cleaned. I've never seen a dentist office have so much Novocaine. It's as if they were ready to drug an elephant. He's the only man that I know that needs to be as high as Snoop Dogg just to get a teeth clean. But no, his sensitivity is one of the things I love the most about my dad. Getting to have him walk my sister Allison down the aisle is one of the most special things I've seen. But judging by how severely his mobility has diminished since Randy was a kid, he's probably gonna have to walk Kylie down the aisle in a scooter wheelchair. He's gonna look like Transformer. I do love you, Dad. I love you from the bottom of my heart. you raised me like I was your own, and I couldn't be more proud to have you as my father.
You know, first I'd like to thank Allison for putting everything together, you know, for putting this whole roast together with the Italian theme and everything. That's really good.
Mom too.
And yes, and Tina.
You forgot her name.
Thank you. So let's everybody give a shrunken hand and applause to Allison. Okay. Yeah. I've been knowing Allison ever since she was delivered by the Smurfs. And I tell you, there's no truth to the rumor that Allison is a love child of Peter Dinklage. There's no truth to that at all. For those who don't know, he's called the imp in Game of Thrones. Is Mr. Iacovetta here?
Oh boy.
Where is he?
Uh-oh.
He's right here.
Pardonable situation.
Yeah, sir, I want to thank you for
We got a
coming.
feel with him.
I want to thank you for coming down from New York. You know, welcome back to sunny California. I want to thank you for. I want to give you a belated Memorial Day. Thank you, you know, for helping to keep this country safe.
Thank you.
Amen. It's really good to have you here. Like I said, keep on to the Italian theme. You know, you have a masculine child. Tell Billy I said hi. That's your masculine child. I was glad to have a mafia theme. I love mafia movies. And finally, I get to act Italian. That's almost as bad as acting black. So anyway, I couldn't dress like an Italian mobster because I'm not Italian. So I came with the next best thing. Who am I? Samuel L. Jackson from Goodfellas.
Yeah, I see it.
Richard's head is so big, every time he goes outside, his neighbors think it's an eclipse. Richard's the only person I ever knew that almost hanged himself hang gliding. What's up, Rich? Rich's head is so big.
How big is it?
How big is it?
Rich's head is so big, he looks like O.J. Simpson in whiteface. Rich has no sense of direction. If he pulled an O.J., he'd get lost on his way back to his Isuzu. And he'd end up at the police station. By the way, Rich, nice car, the Isuzu. Yeah, how old is it? What, 20 years old? Yeah. If it rained in the back, he'd have a portable swimming pool. Hey, Rich, by the way, is there any truth to the rumor that Stephen Curry wanted to use your head to practice shooting free throws with? It's the right size and it's full of hot air.
Oh.
Hi, Desiree. How are you doing?
Great.
That's good. How are the 7 kids with 7 different daddies?
Man.
You sure you're not a black basketball player in disguise? Jason with his speech impediment. Where is he? What are you talking about, dude? You're the only white person I know that speaks Ebonics. Okay?
Keep it hood.
Or maybe it's just retarded. By the way, I like to keep up on current affairs. You guys probably heard these rumors about there wasn't a real moon landing. It was fake, and it was orchestrated. They even said Stanley Kubrick directed the moon shot, and they used Rich's head as the moon. You can see all the craters there. And so I'm starting to believe that rumor. I don't know. Maybe that's true. Anyway, that's all I got now. And I just want to say, Rich, I've been knowing Rich for how long? 20 years now? Over 20 years. Yeah, over 20. Wow. Rich is a dear friend of mine. You know, we've had a lot of good times together. And Rich is a trusted friend. And one more great thing I like to say about Rich. Well, let's just say Rich is a great person. Okay? Thank you.
So our next guest, you know, this person really loves the arts, dance especially. You know, I heard this person grew up taking dance lessons, And, you know, it really took me by surprise because I've seen this person dance before and they sure do have the moves, but I never knew that you took ballet. And, you know, I'd love to see some of those moves, Martin. Come on up.
Martin.
So it's true, I did dance ballet. I was in Mother Ginger's skirt. I was one of the little children. Out in change. I still remember some of those moves. Boy, I'm glad that guy didn't know me. Good guy. Sure, there's a lot of things he could have said about me, but I must say that I'm very glad and honored to be here this evening. I'm honored to be, to be chosen to speak at this event. And birthdays are such special events, and it's great to see Rich, 50 years old. He's aging so well. Doesn't look a day over 49 and a half. But with age comes wisdom. I'm reminded of a story I heard. It's actually, it happened in biblical times. St. Peter had a birthday and he asked Jesus, he says, Lord, when will I be wise enough to lead the apostles? And Jesus answered, and he said, I can't remember what he said. Rich, why don't you tell us what he said? You were there. I can't remember anything these days. My memory has receded along with my hairline. If it keeps going, I won't remember the way home tonight. I'm sure Rich stopped worrying about his hairline long ago. Last week he thought about washing his hair, but his wife said, don't bother, honey. All the dirt will fall out with the rest of your hair. I remember the first time I met Rich, I thought to myself, here's this big, tough-looking guy. He's 6'5", probably 280 pounds. Man, he looks like a bone cruncher. I couldn't tell if he was Italian or Russian, though. I told my wife, I'm pretty sure he's Russian. She said, no, he's Italian. I said, he doesn't like olives or cream cheese. What kind of an Italian guy doesn't like olives and cream cheese? I don't get it.
Or mushroom.
My wife says his last name is Aikaveta. It doesn't sound very Russian. I told her when his family arrived from Staten Island, they probably chopped off the end of Aikovetsky. And she believed me. No, she didn't actually. My wife's a very intelligent woman. That's her sitting over there. She's got the big diamond ring on her hand. I'm kidding. The prenup, she just became an eye doctor, by the way, so our prenup agreement doesn't allow us to spend money on jewelry, though, just on expensive optometry programs. I'm kidding. We can spend money on whatever we want. We don't have a prenup agreement anyway, by the way. Boy, hindsight is 20/20. Once again, I'm kidding. My wife doesn't have expensive tastes. Speaking of tastes, hey, Rich, I hear the cupcakes have cream cheese frosting, and they taste great. So eat up and enjoy. So yeah, Rich is this tough-looking leg breaker kind of a guy, He doesn't seem like the type to go for a pedicure, but he does. Yeah. Some of you may not have known that, but he doesn't like it though because it hurts his tough leg breaker feet. Yeah, some tough guy. He also goes for Chinese massage from time to time. He had to stop that too because it hurts when that 85-pound Asian woman starts digging her hands into his massive leg breaker back.
True.
Maybe we could get a butterfly to flap its wings on his back. That might make a nice massage for him. But sensitivity is bound to happen with age. 50 years is getting up there. You're getting old when your trick knee goes out more than you do. You're old when you try to exercise, but 2 minutes in, you have to stop because you forgot something. You forgot you're out of shape and you can't exercise for more than 2 minutes. You're old when you fall asleep watching the ball drop at New Year's Eve. We often celebrate New Year's Eve with the Aikaveta and Chun families, and Rich is known for not being able to make it to midnight. During Pictionary, his wife thinks he's impersonating a log, but actually he's asleep on the couch. I keep wanting to tell Rich, just kiss your wife and go to bed, man. It's okay if you throw in the towel before the end of the night. You're a Yankees fan. You should know how that works. Oh! Is he getting up? Is he coming over here? Is he getting up? In closing, I just want you to know, Rich, that there's somebody out there thinking of you and the tremendous impact you've made on their life. It's not me. I think you're a knucklehead. I just wanted you to know there's somebody out there thinking that. In all seriousness, Rich, you are a man of God who is blessed with good humor and amazing talent. You care deeply for your family, and it shows in how you work so incredibly hard to provide for them. I'm honored to celebrate this special occasion with you, and I'm honored to call you my friend and my brother in Christ.
Nice.
We have someone who's a greeter at Westgate. Every Sunday, he'll let you say hello and say hello back. If he really likes you, he'll make his famous limoncello. Let's bring up Craig.
Everybody gonna tag up? You know, I was kind of thinking how long I've known you, Rich, and I think it's been about 3 or 4 hat sizes. You know, it's kind of amazing, you know, when Rich was small and his mom wanted to go mop the floor, she had to go chase him around the house trying to find the mop, because he'd always be wearing the mop on his head because he wanted to know what hair felt like. You know, when everybody else was rocking and rolling and playing guitar, playing air guitar, no, he was running around making him look like he's just a hippie with the hair, so he really liked it. Something new. You know, it's kind of amazing. You ever bought a hat lately that says one size fits all?
Yeah.
Unless you're rich. Then you have to get your own. Did you ever know that Rich and Evel Knievel had something in common?
What's that?
You know, we're going to go back to the old days in time, Rich, when you thought you were the man around town. And unfortunately, I guess you broke your wrist trying to do some skateboarding rink, and then you tried to jump over a refrigerator box on your bicycle. You know? It's kind of amazing. Evel Knievel had 433 broken bones during his career, and Rich was trying, but he didn't make quite that much, thank God. You know, Rich, they say that the bigger you are, the harder you fall. I heard when you were a kid, you freaked out over firecrackers and someone flicked a firecracker at you and you passed out? That's a man, let me tell you.
I was a little kid.
Hey, yeah, Rich, you were never a little kid. You know, it's kind of amazing. Did everybody have a pet when they were small? Maybe it was a pet dog or a pet cat? Well, not Rich. You know, Rich had some other ideas what he wanted for a pet. He wanted a wombat. And then I heard when he was small, they went to the zoo and they turned around and where's Rich? Well, he's trying to climb into the cage with the wombat. And evidently they're fierce little turkeys. But, you know, he never really knew that. But, you know, Rich, you know, with all kidding aside, I have to say something, that you actually do have something that's bigger than your head. And no, don't get excited, because it's your heart. It's your heart. So, Rich, God bless you.
Our next guest has been a longtime family friend. You know, we've seen the good, the bad,
Now we're gonna see.
the hair loss.
Now we're gonna see.
And, you know, all right, everyone, I want you to get real loud for this one. Let's hear it for the Persian leprechaun, Ace.
No, I mean, Desiree, when is Cinco de Mayo? When she was 15 years old, was it 15? She was asking me when Cinco de Mayo is. Obviously, I've been out of the loop for a long time. We haven't been together for a few years, but when I see Rich now, I mean, back in the day, he had some hair, but every time I see him, I get confused with Danny DeVito. But I really think I'm Danny DeVito when I see him, when I'm around him. And then I actually see the space. I feel like that's Pluto I'm looking at. With that head. At least mine is totally bald, but his is confusing now. But the gravity, at least you can see that there is gravity when you see him. He finally gets to have a goatee. But I remember saying, you know, let me ask you this. As usual, want to be Italian. Now I understand why Mr. Icavera eats bread and Pepsi. Because you had to spend all your money feeding this guy. Watching him grow like a chia pet. But no, in all seriousness, I mean, I lived with Rich for 6 months or so when I first moved to California.
I had the privilege of living with the kids and Rich, and I was going through hard times, and it was really encouragement to be with him, and even we went through ups and downs, but it was funny. He's a funny guy, and he's a good guy, he's an honest guy, and I really appreciate your friendship, and and I look to spend more time with you guys in the future.
Help me welcome the person that uses more hair products than anyone ever should. Eric Campbell, also known as Johnny and the boys, Joey, Frankie, Robbie, and Louie. Come on down, guys. Yeah.
All right. What's this?
Oh my gosh.
What? Rich?
They're rich academics.
All right.
Look at the bomb. We won 27 in a row.
Can you believe this guy? I know we're all having fun celebrating Rich's 50th, and it's all fun and games. But seriously, there is a more serious subject we need to talk about tonight. And I'd like everybody's attention. So seriously, this one affects only a mere 20% of men in America today. And I'm sad to say that our chum here, it has affected. No, I'm not talking about hemorrhoids or erectile dysfunction. It's something far, far more dire. It's rather sickly deformity, actually, a loathsome abnormality, so to speak, causing insecurity and debilitating certain men, unlike my buddy Frankie here. Look at that. It's a rather unsound, unwholesome indisposition, creating a lack of esteem in men, unlike my buddy Frankie here. Look at that. No, nor has this awful, awful infirmity occurred in the apex of one's noddle, attacked these old guys, Robbie and Louie.
Look at that mane.
All right. No, these four men and me, along with all 25 bachelors on this season's Bachelorette. I've noticed, yes, I've watched that show. Lord willing, we pray, and may we be granted his mercy to never see this horrible state of enfeebled fornication.
Well, we brought you something that's going to give you a good memory of that day and everything that happened.
And there we have it. He finally got the hair he wanted.
And I look absolutely fabulous.
Defiant.
Before I bring up the man, the myth, the legend, I wanted to say my nice things about him. Dad, you have always been a great example for me. You taught me how to shave my legs when I was 10, start with the little strokes. Eventually I learned how to do it right. Still miss a spot every now and then, but, overall I got the concept from you. You're always there to talk, whether it be about silly things, we can be silly, or serious stuff. I look forward to all the things that you do with Luke, and look forward to having you around for a few more years, God willing, Be active, okay? All right, with that said, I know you guys may have had fake butter on your bread, canned tomatoes in your pasta, but tonight you're getting the real deal. Let's bring him up. Rich Icavetta.
Yeah, I get the last word. All right. Well, I just want to say thank you to all of you that came out tonight to be a part of my 50th birthday celebration. We wanted to make sure we did this right, had a nice Italian theme. We lined up a bunch of people, a bunch of funny people to be able to roast me. Unfortunately, none of them were able to make it tonight, so we had to make do with these guys. Allison, you did a great job as far as being able to be the MC tonight. I'm surprised she got through. You got to understand, Allison has a temper. And so for her to be able to get through something like this tonight is really amazing. You know, I'm glad she was able to do it without getting upset. You know, the truth is she's the kind of person, she just wants to be accepted as she is, which is really unusual because most people want to be liked. So now she'll be the first person to tell you that she's not happy. Now I don't know which dwarf she is, but it's not happy. You know, seriously, ask her to pull out her wallet and look at her driver's license. You could see her feet in the picture. Don't worry, I won't be long. I know you need to get back to Santa's workshop to finish making toys. So, okay. Then we got my son-in-law, Jason Perry. Jason, it looks like you left one of your jokes on the table earlier, and you forgot to deliver it. So I'll deliver it for you. Okay, the way that you wanted to intend to deliver it. Oh, this one's about you, Martin. Okay. So let me read it. Here's Jason's joke. Marvin Tuna, my sadistics show you have a weird diet. Specifically, nut burgers and bone marrow shakes. I heard you once sent back an order of sushi and complained it was undercooked. That was a good one, Jason.
Too much time on your hand.
You know, look, as his father-in-law, you know, I need to tell you about Jason. And I don't think he'll take umbrage with this because, first of all, he doesn't know the meaning of the word umbrage. And he certainly can't say it. That's for sure. Okay. But, you know, I used to think that he was a pain in the neck when I first met him. And now I got a much lower opinion of him. Look at him smiling over there. Big old piano keys in his mouth. I feel sorry for the horse you took those teeth from. You know, you're about 10 years away from looking just like Gary Busey.
Oh, man.
So glad my daughter Desiree's here, you know. I mean, she had a rough time, you know, a little rough, but look, isn't she beautiful? You know, what can you say about someone who spends hours on their hair, loves to get pedicures, and never misses an episode of The Bachelor? I'll get to Eric later, but first I want to talk about Desiree. Allison and Kylie, she's Allison and Kylie's older sister. Okay. And she's not afraid to speak her mind because she has so little to give. Now, some would argue that she's the more open-minded sister, which is a nicer way than saying empty-headed. You know, when Allison sent out the email about this roast and said no innuendos, she replied, where would I find Italian suppositories anyway? Hey, look, it's not her fault that she's not the brightest one here tonight. I suspect her mom must have let her eat paint chips when I was in the Navy. So that's okay. We'll take it easy. I'm done with you. Oh, Martin Turner. What a nice guy. I mean, the nicest guy on the panel here, you know. Last thing I want to do is hurt you, but it's still on my list. He is the epitome of dark and handsome. When it gets darker, he'll be handsome. So trust me. Aww. And he's a very athletic guy. I talked to his high school football coach, and I don't remember what position you played, but I know his coach, I think he called you one of the team's drawbacks, right? Yeah. Okay. Ronald, look at him. Oh, no. We were worried Ronald wasn't going to make it here today, you know. He's my best friend, you know, which shows you how difficulty I have making friends. He's a self-made man. He started out with nothing and has most of it left. And he'll tell you he's one of the world's greatest lovers. All he needs is a partner. And look at all this mess here, Ronald. This stuff on the floor reminds me of your house. I mean, your house is so messy, it looks like you're losing a game of Jumanji. Greg Gorman. Hey, you're not getting away from this. Greg is a great realtor, a great friend. He's the kind of guy who always has his ear to the ground. But enough about his drinking problem. No, seriously, the guy hardly ever touches the stuff. It only takes one limoncello to get him drunk. Just one, just one. Which one is it, the 15th or 16th? Oh, man, he's such a lush. The last time he gave a urine test, there was an olive in it. And Ace, my buddy Ace, what a great guy. He'll give you the hair off his back, seriously. Look at you. You look like a corn dog with eyebrows. You know, he grew up in Iran, okay, and he was deprived of a lot of things in his childhood. You know, I believe oxygen tops the list. But he's sensitive about his height, so don't make fun of it or he will punch you in the kneecap. Patty, is that you out there? I can't tell where the tablecloth ends and you begin. And finally, Eric Campbell. Where are you, Eric? Oh, there he is. Still got that Red Sox shirt on.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, Eric used to play in a rock band in the 90s called The Recruits. And it's okay if you never heard of them, because no one else ever did either. They did get a little bit of airplay here in the Bay Area, you know, and I don't know if they were any good or not. You know, I mean, the best way to describe them, to give you an idea, is I heard Yoko Ono once said they were wonderful. So, and now he's got a beautiful house that he's building up in Murphy's in Gold Country. Beautiful view overlooking the forest. You really like nature, huh?
I do.
Yeah, despite what it did to you. I swear I saw 2 birds fly into his hair just during the roast alone tonight. So. Seriously, though, I really want to thank everyone for coming out and being a part of this. This is much better. You know, Tina told me, she says, don't get your hopes up with this roast because some of these people may not be funny. And I got to tell you, all of you were really funny. You all delivered tonight. You made me laugh a lot, and you made me feel good, too, to have you as friends and family. And I love you all. I want to thank my wife, Tina, for putting this whole party together. You know, we had to do this. She had to do it. I'm sorry. She had to do all of this in the process of us getting our house ready to sell. And talk about me asking for something that was absolutely ridiculous at a time when you're trying to sell a house. But she loves me so much, and she wanted to do this for me. And so I appreciate it, and I love you, and thank you for doing this. It really means a lot to me. And thank you all for coming. My dad coming from New Jersey, my nephew and his wife coming up from San Diego, and for all of you, your friendship and your love and support really means a lot to me. And I hope we continue over the next 50 years together. So thank you very much.